What's going on, guys? We are Descent into Horror Hell, and this is our official first show of 2019.
It's good to be back, guys.
Cheers, Ghoul.
Skid Gore.
Cheers, all you guys out there. Thank you, guys and gals, for watching us.
Hope you guys had a good holidays.
Absolutely.
We're gonna kick this year off with Killer Kids.
Killer
you guys
Kids.
are gonna love this one.
And Demonic Kids and Little Rugrats.
Any kids who had a kill in a movie. So
after this episode, you're never going to want to have kids.
So with that being said, I am Ghoul.
I'm Skid Gore. We'll come right back. Stick around.
Cheers, guys.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 6.
Welcome back, boils and ghouls. We are going to start this off as most of our episodes actually do. We're going to start off with recent watches. Like I said, it's been a long time since our Halloween episode. Hope you guys checked that one out.
Hope you enjoyed our werewolf short film.
So, kind of getting back into this. I mean, we've watched a lot of films since then, but we're going to kind of get into something that we either enjoyed or checked out, new or old, as most recent watches are. So let's get into it.
What you got?
I picked up 1981's Absurd. I'm going to actually have to get a little closer to this
Oh
one,
yeah,
but,
Absurd.
George Eastman, of course. This was the
A.K.A.
Anthropophagus 2.
Anthropophagus 2.
Yeah, this is Joe D'Amato's next actual supposed to be flick, which is exactly why George Eastman is in it.
Yeah.
This movie, man, was cool. It was a fun flick to watch. George Eastman kind of plays this experiment of some sort. Like, it's not the original Anthropophagus that you remember from a year prior, but it takes on the aspect of, because George Eastman playing this just maniac killer, more or less. And he shows up at this front doorstep, and there's this guy hunting him down who's actually the principal, or whatever you want to call it, from Pieces. The actual killer
That's
from
right,
Pieces. Yeah. And he's hunting...
Ghoul's favorite movie, by the way.
Love that one. And he's hunting him down because he knows what this character is supposed to... what power he holds.
Oh yeah.
And his killing ability. So that kind of goes off on this whole... chase, I guess, of trying to find this guy, and he ends up in this house. His babysitter, this daughter who's bedridden, and really annoying kid in this movie. Yeah, it's kind of like House by the Cemetery.
Bob.
Bob.
Bobby.
Yeah. So there's
Not quite that annoying, but
really annoying kid in this
Really
movie, and he's just constantly like, "Well, I want to watch the football game." Like, just so annoying.
good old fashioned
overdub.
Italian
Terrible. So, yeah, basically it's just kind of this hunt, and there's some great gore scenes in this.
Oh yeah.
Of course, you get the nurse that kind of gets killed in the beginning, gets this big, skewer, stuck through her, her neck, and it's really it's a great film. Definitely not as gory as the first, is what I thought it would have been. But George Eastman is just a creepy
When he's
guy
on camera,
in
he
general.
just has such a presence.
It's
about
the
him.
eyes, and it brings back the Anthropophagus idea with the eyes and how he just stares people down.
Absolutely.
Got a great score to this movie. Really well done, really creepy, makes sense to the film. I think probably one of the most unnerving scenes to this that I remember was the oven scene. And I'm not going to say too much about it, but you guys got to watch this. But definitely check out Absurd. Anthropophagus 2, if you will, from Joe D'Amato from 1981. Check it out, guys.
Is that Severin Films?
Severin did put this, a really good release. This actually is a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff.
Finally gets the justice it deserves.
Interviews with George Eastman himself, and it's really cool, so check that out.
Absolutely.
Alright, Skid Gore, what do you got?
Well, I have the ultimate party movie for metalheads here, man. This is Deathgasm. Yeah, man, this movie is such a trip. I love it. I love the story. Just both of these characters in this film I forget the actors' names offhand, but Brody and Zach, they're just like these two metalheads. And yeah, I can relate. You know, when I watch this movie, I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
dude,
man.
Brody reminds me so much of me in parts. Like, just being the outcast, you know, trying to find the right woman that's into the same shit that doesn't judge him, that kind of mentality. And, you know, the band, of course, you know, he's a musician, and Zach's also a musician, and they try to form this band to play.
Cool songs, too,
What was the
actually.
band? Hex and Sword? Like, they go
Yeah.
in Ricky Daggers, and they try to stake the
Yeah.
album. All of a sudden,
Yep.
all hell breaks loose, all these demons are unleashed.
They write the demon song, like they
Yeah.
play that note or that riff, because they found that, they found like a paper or something
Yeah.
with like a tab
Yeah,
sheet.
it sounds like Black
Yeah.
Sabbath, I Hate God.
Oh,
Something
it's so
like it's
good.
really demonic and it's really cool.
It summons the devil. It's great.
Exactly, and all these people become demons. Like our the one scene we were talking about earlier
Oh yeah.
was the teacher when he's like shitting blood out of his pants, and then he pukes on that hot chick in the front row.
It's kind of got a Dead Alive feel. Like it's
Oh, yeah,
very
and it's
over
New
the
Zealand,
top.
too.
Yeah,
It's
it's
got
over
that
the it's over the top. It's
Yeah.
just that.
It really is.
It's funny. It's a dark comedy, but it's a gore film. It's
For
got
metalheads.
so many elements. Yeah,
And it helps
man.
if you're metal. I mean, there's just Trivium, there's Cannibal Corpse, there's there's Emperor. One of my favorite scenes is when Brody and Zach are driving in their car, and they're listening to Emperor, you know, the
Yeah.
Nightside Eclipse album, or like, oh fuck! I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, dude, that's Emperor, man. We had to stop and be like, fucking,
Holy shit.
dude, it's Emperor.
How many
It's-
movies you ever
yeah.
seen play black metal?
I mean, it's so cool. It's got really good visuals, really good special effects, practical effects.
Yep.
There's a couple CGI here and there, I believe, at the end when he's trying to summon them back with his guitar and shit.
yeah.
But man, it does not destroy the movie because most of it's practical effects, and this is the only movie you'll ever see where anal beads and a dildo are
Take
used
part.
as a weapon to take
Yes.
out demons. Am I right? Have you ever seen a movie about that? Yeah, 'cause
Can't say that I have.
Yeah, this is the only movie I can think about that. But,
It's a good gore fest, man. For metalheads,
It really
and
is cool.
gore fiends.
It really is cool.
Whatever. Good story. It's kind of a weird little love story.
yeah, it's like a
Brody-
twisted love story.
yeah, where
It's like a
Brody
band
wants, like,
story.
a-
It's a band about fresh friends, being finding your acceptance in the world, trying to find the right girl, trying to get your band off the ground, and summoning demons. You know, and
Yeah.
trying to save the day, basically.
It's got everything.
But yeah, man, Deathgasm and Absurd. Those are our recent watches.
Oh yeah,
Check
guys.
them out.
We'll be back.
Shall return.
Cheers.
Me.
Murderer! Murderer!
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
One round of WP! Fire! 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 Yeah! Yeah! I love you!
Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is the episode here. Basically, the rules for this. This is the Killer Kids, Demonic Kids type episode. So basically, it has to have a killer or demonic kid, obviously, that kills at least one person. Basically, just what do we decide? To a teenager from
It's
young
gotta
to
be up to about the end of high school. So think like
Yeah.
12th grade.
yeah, like
No
Carrie.
no college kids or any of that shit. It's gotta be like high school and before. Infants, whatever. So
Yeah, killer
Yeah.
babies and whatnot.
yeah. So
So
that
it's
was kind of
plus-
that was our criteria, kind of what we wanted to go through before we went through these.
Yep.
Because like I said, you get into college films, dude, you're dealing with a whole nother
Whole plethora of
yeah.
just ideas.
So basically, this is obviously, we always thought the werewolf episode would have been the last one we throw a bunch of movies at you, but when we started to go through Killer Kids movies, there's so fucking many.
So let's
They're
get into
everywhere.
this. It's gonna be pretty long.
So we're gonna
let's-
kind of throw these at you. We're gonna talk about a few of them here and there. So get your pads and paper.
and our
out.
top five
Pens.
will be our absolute favorites of all time. Skidgore and Ghoul's favorites
So,
of all time.
Let's get down to it, guys.
All right, and we're starting out with
Hey,
a
girls.
really good one here from 1980, The Children from Trauma Films.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, dude, we just recently watched this one. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this one for a while. Harry Manfredini of Nightmare on Elm Street. Or, I'm sorry, Friday the 13th
yeah.
fame. Does the music in this, and you can totally tell because
He
it
stole
sounds
so
just
much,
like Friday
yeah.
the 13th.
He stole it from Friday the 13th. I think some of like the unused.
Yeah, he
music,
stole
you
his
could
own.
tell.
He stole his own music for this film, which is awesome.
All right.
But you know, these basically it's a story about these kids on a bus that go through this radiation cloud, and they go back to their parents, and if they hug them, hug anybody for that matter, they kill them. I mean, it's a really unique concept, and I'm amazed it hasn't been remade. But The Children, man, 1980, excellent film. Check it out. Essential. Good way to start. What you got, Will?
Moving on to 1984's Children of the Corn. Of course, very classic Stephen King novel turned into a film.
Oh yeah.
Basically, these kids are under this like cult of the corn of sorts, and they go
One
around,
who walks behind the rose.
and they basically go through the city and they end up killing people. They torch barns with people in them. I mean, it's just it's a creepy concept in general.
It has a horrible fucking series, but that's one of the best.
Yeah, Linda Hamilton's in this one, which is very young Linda Hamilton, which is cool. Which is what's his name? Big redheaded. I can't think of his name.
Malachi.
Malachi.
Yeah.
Malachi walks out there and he like calls out the townspeople.
Outlander!
And he's got her like, you know, pretty much knife to the throat kind of idea, you know,
Yeah.
and like calling everybody out.
South Park did a great parody of that, by the way.
Yes,
You
they
know what I'm
did.
talking about?
Yes, they did.
Children of the Corn is classic.
And
man.
this series, even 2 and
Yeah.
3 was pretty good. I mean, you start to
2
get
was
like
cool.
Isaac's Return. I mean, they really. This is one of those franchises, man. They
Yeah.
just keep going with. But the original, definitely, 1984's Children of the Corn, or read the book.
That's the one to check out for sure. Oh, here's another no-brainer. The Exorcist. Wow. Probably wonder why this is so low on the list. Well, you know, both myself and Ghoul love this film as well. But yeah, man. I mean, it's essential. Just like Children of the Corn, it's like one of those movies.
It's just one of those
have
like
to see.
if you know you don't know the film, realistically why Regan is in this
Yeah.
is because she's a possessed girl and she kills Father
Father Marin.
Marin and
She killed Burt Dennings.
yeah, basically at the end they're throwing him down the stairs. So it's kind of it's a killer kids film in that sense.
Your mother's Scots in hell.
So that's kind of why we put it in this countdown.
Definitely
But check it
classic.
out.
The Exorcist.
And then we have Rob Zombie's Halloween. Of course, the young Michael Myers. This is the pre-tale from the original 1978, so this kind of tells the story of Michael Myers as a youth. Yeah, definitely. There's kid kills, I think, probably all over
The part
this
where he
movie.
freaks out and kills the kid with the hockey puck.
You know, he kills his parents. His dad's sleeping on the chair or whatever.
Stepdad.
He goes, or stepdad. He
Yeah.
goes, he just starts
Yep.
reaping on him. So
And he beats the shit out of the boyfriend with the bat.
yeah, so definitely killer kid.
Yeah.
And then of course he grew up to be the infamous Michael Myers.
Mike Myers,
So
not the comedian.
that counts.
Here's the classic Ghoul. Shit, I gotta find the year in it. 72, The Other. This movie is essential for classic horror fans, gothic type horror fans. A really unique story. Kind of a reincarnation type story, but with a bad kid who's a bad seed, basically.
Good
And
movie.
he does really bad things, especially to the baby at the end. You kind of... It's like one of those movies you watch, you're like, holy shit, did that just happen?
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
And he's got all these powers where he can like see above, like as a bird and shit. It's really out there, man. The Other is good. Check out The Other, 72.
Wow. We're moving on to Duck, the Carbide Massacre.
Oh shit!
This
Oh, God.
this movie
Pissed.
landed the directors in jail, actually, legitimately, because this was basically made after the Columbine massacre.
Shortly after.
So basically, these kids kind of go in and they tell the story in a very satirical way. It's got some comedic elements. It's like you're almost like there, and this is definitely one of those movies that is flying under the radar for so long, but it's the content of it, you know, these kids, and obviously when you look
Which
at
is still
it,
going on to this day.
when you look at it, there's a lot of stuff that obviously doesn't line up with the actual Columbine
if you know
massacre.
the Columbine case, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't line up with that, but the
With some of the
concept,
reporters,
yeah,
you know.
the concept and the concept alone really makes you like kind of go, who the hell would think of making a movie like this?
And the
But
filmmakers
it's so
really
good.
wanted to make a statement with that movie because,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
how the media portrayed Columbine and school shootings in general, how they always had to be on the scene, how it was, you know, it was just like the front page of everything, you know, how media just blew everything out of proportion. That movie, the filmmakers wanted to make a movie about the media, basically. It wasn't just about the school shootings.
Yeah.
It was about how the media portrayed everything, and I think they really hit the target on that
Yeah.
one.
So definitely check out Duck, the Carbide Massacre.
Little
this
cheesy
was-
acting here and there, but man,
This is from 2004 from Shriek Show, so
it shows you how they were
Yeah.
molded into killers, how being bullied on the playground and
they're all hanging out in that closet. And they're
Yeah.
sitting there like talking to each other, like, I don't know if I can do this. He's like,
Just
you can do it.
fucked up parents, fucked up upbringing, you know,
Yeah,
just
it's
two outcast kids, the trench coat mafia, if you will, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies where if you're touchy about that kind of shit, which I'm assuming if you're watching our horror cast, if you watch anything else, you're not immune to just weird, out there, gross shit. So
Misty
Check
Monday
it
gets
out.
blown away.
yeah, definitely check that out.
Good scenery with her. I have Grace. This movie was awesome. I guess it's kind of a little vampire baby, so to speak. It requires blood from its mother, you know, sucking on the mother's tit and just kind of rips the tit off and just drinks the blood and shit. Pretty disturbing. Like when this movie played Stygist Film Festival, I believe, like there were people that were fainting, and that's pretty hard to do. And I quite frankly don't see why people would faint, but I guess I don't know, that turns people off. I thought it was pretty entertaining. I guess I am a sick fuck, but Grace is
All right.
Grace is pretty cool. Check out Grace, good killer baby movie.
All right, moving on to Loved Ones.
Oh yeah, Australian horror.
Yeah, Lola rejects an invitation from Brandt, and basically it's kind of a revenge film, but it's a prom, so we thought high school. Okay, it makes sense.
Yep.
And she kind of goes off on this sick revenge with a drill. It's pretty badass. It's pretty gore. It's actually got some pretty good gore in it.
They're really good special effects.
Definitely, and this came out in 2017, I believe.
She's
Oh,
got this
2012. Sorry.
She's got this
It's actually older
demonic
than I thought.
demonic
Is that
father
Hammer?
that works for
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. Loved Ones. It kind of looks like one of those like teeny movies where you're like, you know, annoying actors that can't act.
It really is.
This
a film,
actually
man.
is really
It's
good.
a first round Naco film. Check
It's
the
a
Loved
really
Ones
good
out.
movie.
Good Aussie.
2012, yes. Aussie films are actually getting pretty good lately.
There's
which is-
a lot of really good ones out there.
Yeah, check out Aussie films. man.
Snowtown Murders, shit like
Mhm.
that. Death Dream, Bob Clark. Even though this is kind of classified as a zombie film, it is a killer kid movie because it's kind of a monkey's paw story where this mother wishes her son back from the war, from Vietnam, and he comes back and he's just not what he seems. You know, he strangles the dog, does a lot of demonic shit, and eventually, he decays and becomes a zombie. But really, he is a killer kid if you think about it. He's only, he's a young man that came back from the war, just not the way that he left. Death Dream, Bob Clark, one of Tom Savini's early makeup credits with Ellen Ormsby.
All right, next we got Kathy's Curse.
Oh yeah.
It's another one from 1974 or 76. Sorry. Basically, this girl gets roasted in a car in an accident,
Yeah.
and kind of comes back and terrorizes and kills some of the family. Check out Kathy's Curse. Definitely a classic. This is along the Exorcist, Omen, Carrie kind of era, so that's definitely a good one.
That's essential.
That's a very good one.
Satan's School for Girls. Man, this definitely was deserving of the list. You got a bunch of... Basically what it says, Satan's School for Girls. Satan is a teacher at this school, and it's kind of like a Manson cult. He gets all these beautiful women, and I mean beautiful 70s women, like beautiful fucking women.
Yes.
70s.
70s women, man, they're a whole
Turns
other
them,
level,
turns
man.
them from normal girls that are without parents, they're pretty much
orphans.
yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
and gives them a home, gives them love, but it's a demonic type of love.
It's lust.
Lust, yeah. Satan's School for Girls, really good scenes in this movie. Timeless. There's a
Now,
good release.
Now here's one I have not watched yet.
Cooties.
Cooties. I have not watched this one yet. Elijah Wood's in it.
Yeah.
Of course, from Maniac, The Hobbit, I mean, whatever stuff. So he's a big name, and he put it in a movie.
That was a fun one.
But it's all about, like, in a school and stuff like that, as far as I remember.
Yep, killer kids. Like
Yeah.
they're like almost zombies. They're like just terrorizing all these teachers and shit.
Yeah.
Definitely
I'm
appropriate.
going to have to check this one out, but I have not seen this yet, so.
It's a pretty good one. It's pretty fun.
It's kind of a dark comedy, funny zombie film, I guess.
If I say the name of this movie, I don't have the greatest pronunciation skills in the world, but it is
Vinyan!
Vinyan. Yeah, Vinyan. This movie basically is about this kid that gets washed away in a tsunami. I believe it was that last tsunami, the really bad one. Southeast Asia, yeah, that bad tsunami. Well, the kid got washed away, presumably dead, you know, but his mother, the kid is still alive from a video that she sees recently. And they go and search for the kid, and things just kind of messed up because you don't really know who to trust. You know, like they take him to the islands, and it turns out to be the wrong island, and it's not the kid that they're looking for. And then they find the tribe pretty much because these kids are all wild now. You know, they're all feral pretty much, and chaos ensues. Check that one out though, Vinyan. Vinyan, awesome movie.
Jack Ketchum's The Offspring.
Oh fuck yeah.
The Ghost House Underground series. This is kind of like Cannibal Kids.
Yes.
Really well done. Really kind of a cool story. These kids kind of like come back. You know, the locals are kind of like, I don't remember. I remember watching this once. I don't remember 100% about the story, but I just remember there's some really cool kill scenes with the kids. But
they all live there. These pretty much this cannibal tribe to live in these caves, and they're after a baby, so
yeah.
they can eat basically, and
But,
they
like,
want to procreate.
And the makeup for these are like, you think about the early cannibal films from like the 80s and stuff where, you know, they're primitive kids. I mean, more or less, but they're cannibals. So it's actually kind of a really cool movie. Jack Ketchum, obviously a great author, great
Rest
director.
in peace.
So check out The Offspring from Ghost House movies, which I wish they made more of these Ghost House films.
They're hit or miss.
Yeah.
They're hit or miss. That was definitely one of the better ones.
This is, yeah. So I
Absolutely.
remember those being actually pretty good. Certain ones, obviously, but.
From Dark Sky Films, Dead of Night. This is a horror anthology, but there is a short on here called Bobby, which is basically kind of a monkey's paw type story again, where the mother brings her boy back from the dead and comes back and he's not what he seems, and basically terrorizes her and everybody, and it's really done well. The ghoul on this cover here, I believe that's actually from the short, so that's pretty sweet. Definitely a awesome image. Check out Dead of Night.
Next up, we got My Pure Joy. I
Oh.
don't remember what year this was from. 2011?
That's
Relatively. Adam, who kind of seems like an average teenager, watches these like horror films and he starts to like mimic the stuff that goes on in these horror films, and it turns into
Obsession!
it turns into an obsession, clusterfuck, whatever you want to call it. And he acts out these films. So it's a cool concept for a movie. But yeah, definitely check out
That's
My
a
Pure
really
Joy.
brutal movie.
From Raw Meat. This would have been Shriek Show, yeah.
If you ever see a fresh meat logo, you know it's going to be something gooey.
Yeah. So definitely check out Shriek Show's Fresh Meat's My Pure Joy from 2011.
I love his mask. Here's another ghost house. This is another really good one. It's called The Children, not to be mistaken by the 80s one I showed earlier. This is a different concept. It's basically kind of a holiday type movie. This family is on vacation at this cabin, and basically this other family brings their kid who happens to have some kind of disease that he got outside, and basically turns all the other kids mental into killers, and they take turns on their parents, and they're just there's really some disturbing stuff in this movie. Actually, I was really surprised the first time I saw it years ago. Really good, and these kids are adorable. Like, they're really cute kids. Like, they really are. So it makes it harder when you have to kill them. It's actually it seems kind of bad killing these cute kids, but hey, you're gonna survive either way. So
Gotta do it.
check out The Children.
Let the Right One In. Good vampire film with kids. So Oscar and Eli are like really good friends and kind of like, if I remember correctly, like Oscar has to, like he gets picked on, and Eli has to kind of like come to his defense,
He just
you know,
wanted a
and things
friend.
like that. So
Turns
it's
out to
a
be a vampire.
good friendship film. Let the Right One In.
He didn't know she was a vampire. He just
That
wanted.
reminds me of the Lost Boys. He didn't know his brother was a vampire.
He just
Like,
wanted a friend.
just there.
Firestarter. Now, do I need to say more? Everyone should see this movie. George C. Scott and Martin Sheen are amazing in this movie.
Another Stephen King novel adaptation. I mean,
Drew
shit,
Barrymore,
man.
a young, beautiful. She's so cute in this as a little girl, Drew Barrymore, and she grew up to be a beautiful woman as well, and a very highly paid actress as well. She also made another movie where she was in another horror film called The Little Girl Lives Down the Lane, which is another really good movie. But Firestarter really is amazing. That last scene in the barn where her dying dad tells her to burn everything down, and she's shooting fireballs at helicopters and stuff, you know.
Oh hell yeah!
Really good special effects too.
For the time,
Firestarter,
yeah.
check it out.
Or read the book.
Yeah, Stephen King.
All right, this one is Emil. I have not seen this one, so I really can't tell
Emily.
you. Oh, Emily.
Emily, yep. Emily.
Sure. Whatever. I haven't seen this one, so I couldn't honestly tell you about it.
Every parent's worst nightmare, like never knowing who your kids are being babysitted by. It could be some psycho. Basically, that's what the story is. Really good acting. I forget the actress's name, man, but she's really amazing. She's really believable as this killer babysitter.
Yeah.
A lot of screws loose. She's hot too. After Dark Films, myself and Gould just recently watched this one. It kind of fell through the cracks in my collection. I've had it for a long time, but it's one of those movies you kind of just bypass because a lot of these After Dark horror films, films to die for, you kind of just like, you know, I'll watch it before I die eventually, you know. But this one's really good, and they have really good movies. They really do. Check them out. Anything they put out is really good. It really is quality horror.
That was really cool with like
Little wicked little things. This is a really good movie.
that asshole like landowner who wants to like,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna take this home from you, but like the little girl who sees like this girl and the mom's kind of like, yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
She thinks she's kind of crazy, and all of a sudden she starts to realize that
She had an imaginary friend. I forgot what her name was, but she had an imaginary friend that turns out to be this actual. These
Demonic.
children were buried in this mine
Yeah.
intentionally.
They were slaves,
murdered.
more or less,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
slaves that were murdered. And then they come back as these zombies that look like Michael Myers. They have like these masks.
black
and
eyes.
shit. They have
and
black
shit,
eyes.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. Taylor Scout Compton, who I think is a beautiful actress, is in this. This is one of her earlier roles before, I believe, Rob Zombie's Halloween, which kind of put her on the map. But this is a really good movie, Wicked Little Things. Check it out.
We are going to 1976
Oh,
in The Omen. Very classic film.
Damien.
Damien, of course.
It's all for you, Damien.
I mean, everybody remembers how creepy Damien was in this movie. Basically, this is a supernatural, like Amityville horror-ish, except for it's a kid, not a house. But Gregory Peck plays his father Robert and his mother Kathy. They give birth, well, they don't really give birth to a stillborn baby, but I don't even know if that's even possible. Can you give birth to a stillborn baby? I guess you can,
They adopted him.
more or less.
Yeah.
So Damien
His mother was a jackal. Mr. Thorne.
So on Damien's 5th birthday, like weird shit starts happening, and his dad kind of realizes like, okay, he might be
It's
the
not my
Antichrist.
boy. It might be
He
the.
might be the Antichrist. So his father dies in this like weird fucking accident, and it's a classic film.
David Warner has the greatest severed head scene ever with
Yes.
the glass.
Oh,
His head like goes like spinning through the air.
yep. So yeah, definitely this is a cool possession film. It kind of, but it's a good demonic. I don't even know what you call that kind of film.
Antichrist.
Yeah.
Evil little tyke.
Evil little bastard, man. So definitely check out. Obviously, if you haven't seen The Omen, check it out.
It's like The
It's classic.
Exorcist or Carrie, you know, just
Yeah.
essential for horror fans. You gotta see it,
Absolutely.
or Pet Sematary or something. Now this movie really surprised me. I just watched this recently. Another kind of movie that fell through the cracks. Citadel. this movie really was cool. It's about this guy and his wife that rent out this apartment that turns out to be run by these. I don't know what you call them. I mean, they are kids. They come across as kids, but they're also demons. Like, they're just these feral children. They're runaways, basically. Like, they just survive any way they can by killing people and taking what they want and stuff. And they kill his pregnant wife. Yeah, his wife is pregnant, and they kill her. And basically, he spends the whole time with this priest trying to track down what happened to her and tries to figure it out. And it just, I don't want to give the ending away because it's actually a really good movie. It's got a really good twist ending as well. An ending you thought never to see. But Citadel's really good. Check it out. Not a lot of people talk about it. In fact, I never heard this movie talk anywhere but like Rumor Magazine. That's how I learned about it. Citadel. Check it out.
Next, we're on 2000. Oh, this is recent. 2015, The Evil Within. Interesting movie. I actually kind of did enjoy this.
Michael Berryman's creepy, man.
Yes, he is, and it's
Even without makeup.
Dennis. John struggles to kind of like find friends and or Dennis, I should say, not John. Dennis struggles to find friends. He finds them within his mirror, and it's kind of this dark spirit or whatever you want to call it.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, this definitely has a lot going on it. But check out The Evil Within.
Michael Berryman.
If you like Michael Berryman, as Hills Have Eyes, things like that,
You'll like
definitely
that.
check out his movie.
You'll like that one. Really good score too. Funny Games. The original Funny Games from 1997. This is a really, this was actually remade by the same director as well. But this is the original, I think. I have not seen the remake actually, so I can't judge it, but I love the original. And usually the original is better than any kind of remake, usually. That's the rule. But Funny Games is cool, like these group of kids in these like soccer golf suit or whatever, you know, they got these short shorts and they come in the house and they just terrorize this family. They end up, well, I don't want to give the ending away, but it's just an ending that ends with a splash, let's just say that. Funny Games. I gotta watch like giving endings away, I'm bad at that. That's a good one though.
A la Carta.
Oh fuck, man.
Classic.
Hail Killjoy.
This movie's kind of about two women who kind of go to this convent or whatever, and they end up running into this devil-looking goat guy. And
Claudio Brooks.
and they kind of get really into the devil worship thing, but there's like this friendship, but it's like this sensual friendship, which kind of makes sense for the 70s, you know. And they kind of just really dabble in like
Lesbianism.
yeah, we talked. I mean, this is like,
Exploitation.
I think the only thing that's comparable as far as like the shock value to this film would be like Ken Russell's The Devil. This really kind of gets into religion, Christianity and Satanism.
Jesus burning at the end of the cross.
Yeah, it's one of those movies, man, that just
If you're a hardcore Christian or holy roller, you're probably not going to
Don't
like
watch it.
Alacarda.
don't watch it.
Fair
So
warning.
definitely check out Mondo Macabre. Put out a really good version of this film. You get some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely check out Alacarda.
That's a classic. One of my personal favorite movies too. Doris Wishman's cult classic, A Night to Dismember. Not only is this movie, it's pretty good, but it has the coolest title of any horror movie in history. I mean, A Night to Dismember. How cool is that, man?
It's like I dismember Mama or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's the same
exactly.
title actually, Dismember, but
I mean, that is just a cool title. Basically, it's about Vicky coming back from the insane asylum and trying to adapt. But then there's murders happening all around her. Really gory murders as well.
oh hell yeah.
Then there's this psychiatrist is trying to get in her pants, and there's just so much going on. And her parents eventually become murdered. I'm not going to say by who. There's a twist ending as well. Very twist ending. which kind of throws you for a loop through the whole film, really, when you get to that point. But A Night to Dismember, amazing title, really good
I
movie.
love that,
Check
man.
it out.
All right, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break here, so we're going to come back and we're going to continue with Killer Kids, man.
Killer
like I
Tykes.
said, like I said, man, it's a touchy subject to some people, but we love it because
We think it's hilarious.
it's great. So we're going to actually have a little Killer Kids scene right here for you. So, guys, stay tuned on Descent into Horror Hell.
Stick around or we'll
Cheers.
kill you.
Welcome back there, boils and ghouls, to Descent into Horror Hell. Hope you guys enjoyed the Killer Kids scene there. Let's continue with our little countdown here. We're going to start with
Chicago Ghoul.
a really good film from 1973, It's Alive.
Oh shit, that's a
The
classic.
Killer Baby.
Movie you never want to have kids by.
This is basically like these parents this couple married, has a kid, and this kid turns out to be some really deformed looking evil piece of shit.
Literally.
And his whole mission in life is to basically get back to his home. And the parents are in no respect safe from their own kid.
Terrified of your own child.
Yeah, so it's got a very iconic prop as being the baby. Definitely check out 1973. It's
Directed by
Alive.
Larry Cohen, who did
Larry Cohen, yes.
God Told Me To, and
And he also did
Squirm, The Stuff.
there
Not
is-
Squirm, The Stuff.
he did there's also It's Alive 2 and It's Alive 3 The Island.
Which I've never seen. I've never seen them. I only seen the first one, but that.
But I always remember these covers in the video store where you
Yeah.
got the baby carriage with the hand hanging out, that really creepy like claw.
Yeah.
So definitely check that one out. That's a classic.
Definitely a staple cover of your childhood. If you've seen that
Yes.
one.
Yes, on VHS, of course.
The first ever Killer Kid movie in history. This is the one that started it all. Patty McCormick in The Immortal, The Bad Seed.
That's a long fucking movie.
This movie kicks ass, man. It's kind of based off of a, well, let's face it. Back then, they were all they were all stage plays, pretty much. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
movies were stage plays. Even Dracula and Frankenstein and whatnot, all are stage plays.
Yep.
Made into, eventually movies. This one, you can totally tell, like they're acting from the stage. Patty McCormick as Rhoda. It's really, it's almost become kind of pop culture, really. I mean, even, South Park and The Simpsons, they spoof The Bad Seed a lot, and it's just one of those movies that you gotta see if you're into Killer Kid movies, And of course, Rhoda has, like, the trademark pigtails,
Oh, yeah.
and she's wearing the
children of
dress.
the Dam kind of stuff, yeah.
And, you have to love her. I'll give you a basket. What will I give you for a basket of hugs? A basket full of kisses or some shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that up, whatever. But yeah, man, The Bad Seed is great. Patty McCormick. As far as young as she was, I believe she was like 8 or 10 or some shit. But she really is a good child actress killer. You really believe that she's really this demonic tyke. The Bad Seed is classic, man. They did remake it, but I never saw the
Was
remake.
that 61?
Hell no, dude. This is
Oh,
fucking 56.
56. Holy shit,
Change
yeah.
those two numbers around.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bad Seed.
Oh, wow.
You gotta go.
Older than I thought. A movie that the ending ruined. The Bad Seed. Or not The Bad Seed. I'm sorry.
Have another one, go.
June. That was
Yeah.
stuck in my head.
June.
June.
Good
the movie was
movie.
the movie was good, and yeah, like you said, the ending kind of killed it. I know there's actually quite a cachet of characters. I know there's a guy in here from like the Ocean 11 movies, Ocean 12, things like that. It's got the guy from Starship Troopers in there. I mean, it's kind of they're not really like big names, but they're
They've been in films prior.
right. If you watch a lot of different types of movies, you'll see them. But I mean, this kind of movie was
And RLJ usually puts out good shit. I mean, they put out
yeah,
We Are Still Here, which is a good movie me and Ghoul love.
yeah.
It's kind of a hit or miss, but Yeah, like you said, the ending, it was good up until the ending. The ending just
killed
kind
it.
of...
It made no sense. It was stupid.
It was like a stale fart. This movie kicks ass, man. I absolutely love The Boy. This movie kicks ass. Shut up.
I think we went over that one.
Yeah, dude, from 2015. I believe that... Yep, Elijah Wood produced this one. Yeah, he was kind of like his own producing company, I believe. And this was one of the movies that he did. He didn't direct it, but he produced it. This movie is directed by Craig William McGill, which I never heard of it. But this movie really, really is good. A really good fiery climax. Like, it kind of tells you, like, when they're young, that they're going to grow up to be a serial killer or a killer in general, you know, that kind of mentality when you watch it. Like, you know, he's a pyromaniac, you know, that's usually a sign.
Wet's the bed.
I don't know if he went to bed, but
No, but
he
I'm
set
saying
he
as
set a
far
lot
as
of
like
he set a lot of fires, and
yeah.
basically he comes from a rich dad upbringing. You know, he loves his father and his father loves him, but they're really poor, and I think they're running this motel, and they get these bunch of college kids or some shit, and they're having this party, and they treat his family like shit. They hear him and his pop like shit, and his dad's an alcoholic drunk. You know, he's all passed out and shit, and the boy, I forget his name, Ted, pretty much just takes revenge on these kids by just... I'd be giving the ending away, man, but you can kind of see from the cover that it's a fiery climax. The Boy. This one I highly recommend. Me and Ghoul really like this movie.
It's a good movie.
I'm serious, man. This fucking movie kicks ass. Check out The Boy.
Oh yeah.
What you got, Ghoul?
This has been from 1976. The infamous Carrie.
Stephen King again.
Another Stephen King book to read. This, of course, Sissy Spacek plays Carrie, who kind of has like a tension-filled relationship with her mother and stuff like that. Well,
I would say. Religious nut.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Hyper worry.
the infamous scene, obviously, everybody knows is the blood bucket that spills all over her at prom as she's like prom queen.
Pig's blood.
And
John Travolta.
John Travolta, of course, is the asshole who does it. But she has this kind of like poltergeist type power of sorts, and
Telekinesis.
telekinesis, and it's a terrifying movie in the sense of that. She seems like this very innocent young girl, but
She's bullied, of course, which is usually the case.
right, no friends. I mean, all that shit. But at the
Okay,
same
that's-
time, it's like that scene to where she's locking the doors and sets fire, and she's just standing up on stage covered in blood. I mean,
Yeah, those are iconic
It's so
horror
cool,
film
man.
moments, dude.
but definitely 1976 Carrie.
Like, you never... It's kind of one of those movies, kind of
Don't
like...
forget.
Kind of like, yeah, kind of like The Loved Ones when you question, who do I take this hot chick to the prom? You know? Oh my goodness. David Cronenberg's The Brood. Man, you want to talk classic, Jack? This is definitely a classic. Oh my goodness, from 1979.
Perfect year.
Dude, Oliver Reed is such a fucking scumbag in this. I think he plays this doctor that's trying to get through to this woman who has rage disorder or some shit, and she has these offspring, the brood basically, and they can think through her. So like if she's pissed, this gaggle of fucking demonic fucking little fucking type fuckers fucking just go and do her evil bidding and just kill teachers and kill anyone that gets in their way. I think they killed the grandma in the beginning. And really brutally. I got a feeling you might be seeing that kill later, by the way. But yeah, The Brood is an amazing
Absolutely.
movie. David Cronenberg, of course, we all know him from The Fly and Shivers and Rabid, movies like that.
Videodrome.
Absolutely, Videodrome. Really good Canadian horror, The Brood.
Yeah.
Essential.
We actually got a pretty recent movie, 2016. Better watch out. Kind of a Christmas film. Basically, this kind of
I want to kill the kid in that movie.
Yeah, he kind of gets obsessed with his babysitter, and kind of there's an intrusion, and it all hell breaks loose, man. Like
Pretty much.
in this movie.
I wanted to kill that fucking kid in the movie. It was so fucking annoying.
Yeah. So definitely check out Better Watch Out if you haven't seen it yet. Good movie.
Oh, yeah, good Christmas movie.
It's a good holiday film. I mean, we can add that
Christmas.
somebody on yours.
Jesus, let's see here. God, they never put. Oh, 74. Good year. Made for TV movie called Bad Ronald. This movie's kind of become a cult classic
Lately.
lately. Yeah. But you hear more people talk about it and acknowledge it, which is really cool. And it deserves it. You know, like I said, it was a made for TV movie, kind of like, you know, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, shit like that. Even Lamora, Charles Taylor, and Supernatural. But really, really good movie. About this kid that basically he's disturbed to begin with, and he accidentally kills some person, and then his mother freaks out and then wants to hide him because she knows the police are going to be after him and how to take everyone away. So she soothes him in this wall. It pretty much entombs him in this wall, the secret fucking wall in the house, and you know, feeds him food through a door and shit. You know, just keeps Ronald
Happy.
safe from everybody. But then she goes and has this operation, and unfortunately for her, she dies. And Ronald basically, you know, he only comes out seldom because his mother told him, "Don't come out until I'm here." But she never comes back, so Ronald makes the decision to come out of his little secret,
Out of the closet.
out of his secret room or whatever. And he's devastated that she's gone because he was her whole life, you know. It's her mother, his mother. And then this new fucking family moves in the house, but he's still in the secret room. So like he sees what they see, and he's pretty much stalking them. And he has an asphyxiation on their oldest daughter or something like that.
It's got like a Black Christmas kind of feel. Where
Like
it's
he's
on
in the house
wall.
already. Yeah. Bad Ronald
Yeah.
was a great movie. Awesome.
Yeah.
Check it out.
All right, Alice, Sweet Alice.
Gould knows this one.
It's a good movie.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah, she, as a 10-year-old, dies. Dies. At her first communion. And, like, all her family members, like, start disappearing, dying, things like that. And they're trying to find a reason why. And her sister, I think it's her sister?
Your jealous sister.
Yeah. So they think it's her, but they can't prove it, and
Don't give the ending away, Gould. Just
Don't
put
really.
it down.
I'm done.
It's a good movie, though.
It's a
Yeah,
classic
creepy
movie.
fucking soundtrack. Like
Yeah,
this
it's-
soundtrack is just
Goblin could almost do that.
Yeah, it's creepy as hell. Yeah, we got a double header here. We got Village of the Damned and Children of the Damned, the originals. These are just essential, you know, alien kids running around. You know.
To a city.
Yeah, these are good sci-fi classic. Awesome.
666, the Demon Child, or the Child. Sorry.
Omen ripoff.
It's an Omen ripoff. I've never seen this, but
Did you Asylum put that out?
yeah,
Oh.
they're yeah.
God, they're
If you ever find anything from the Asylum, like cool logo, but terrible film.
not as cool as Jennifer's body.
Oh,
And of course,
Megan Fox.
I really would like Megan Fox's body. I just want to say that right now.
Oh, I think we all do. Yes. Her in Transformers was amazing too.
Megan Fox and Jennifer's body. Really good
I saw that in
teenager.
theaters, dude. I
You
got
did?
yes, I got to see that in theaters.
Ghoul, I envy you. You saw Megan Fox on the big screen.
Oh, I got to see her when she was in bed with that lesbian scene.
Brilliant.
Moving on to a movie called Rampage
Oh my
from
God.
2000.
That movie pissed so many people off.
What was that? 2008.
Ulay Bull is like a horrible director. Like he did like Blood Rain and all this shit.
Yeah.
But that movie kicks ass, man.
It's basically this teenager lives with his family and stuff. He gets fed up with human population, so he decides to take it out on the human population and
One bullet at a time.
gets all these weapons and stuff like that, and just goes out and bam, 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 just starts picking people off, dude.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's kind of a it turns into a post-apocalyptic kind of film, but definitely.
And what's
dude.
fucked up with all the school shootings and public shootings and shit around the fucking world, when you watch that movie, that movie was made before all this shit happened.
Yeah.
But you just can't help but when you watch that movie, all those people getting blown away and shit in the restaurants and stuff. That scene where he blows the guy away because his coffee isn't fucking right or something. That was cool. That's a very brutal movie. Speaking of brutal, holy shit, here we go. We got French Extreme Mortars.
Not the remake.
No, fuck that remake and a burning windmill. This is the original. This is the best. The reason we have it on here is because there is a scene in the beginning, the infamous beginning, where obviously the chick that was tortured for so many years finds her captors and just blows them away. No mercy. We're talking shotgun blast to the head, blowing heads off, fucking blood everywhere. It's one of the most. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, Inside and High Tension. It's on those lines. I believe they call it the France Fab Five. It's one of those, along with High Tension, Inside, Frontiers, movies like that. Inside, did I say Inside? Yeah, it's Inside, sorry. But yeah, Martyrs is great. A very brutal movie, a very depressing movie, a movie about religion, basically, trying to find out what happens after you die, basically, going to the extremes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
This is like the ECW of Christian,
Horror
religious fanatic movies or whatever.
Next, I got Demon Witch Child. I don't remember what year this is from. Sinister Cinema is probably the only real.
Yeah,
It's called The Possession, or The Possessed.
Those these are better fucking release.
But it's got a really creepy old hag in it. I mean, ugly bitch, man.
Packed with
like,
Satan. That's one where she possesses that little girl, and the little girl's like apple cheek,
yeah.
beautiful little girl,
And
and
then she
she's
starts
like,
get-
"Go fuck yourself."
And then she starts getting mad at her mother, and
Yeah.
her mother starts to realize that something ain't right. And
Yeah.
it's kind of got an Exorcist or like what's the movie House of Exorcism kind of feel.
Yep.
You know, good girl gone bad kind of deal.
Good
So,
possessed.
Demon Witch Child. It's got to be. This doesn't ever.
70s something. I want to say like 74, 75.
Something like that. So Demon Witch Child.
Satanic Panic. I think we even on our old Descend the Royal Satanic Panic we talked about that one.
Very possible.
Kind of all blend into one after a while. Aberration. I've never even seen this fucking movie. I'm sorry. Cool. Have you seen this movie?
Yeah, it's about a.
Looks
It's
like
about
it's a ghost
It's
killer.
it's a demon. It's a ghost kid who this woman kind of moves into this house.
Ghostly young boy.
And yeah, the kid ends up killing, kind of like Beyond the Grave, kind of a possession film in a sense. He does kill 2 people in that movie.
I'll have to
so
check this
it
one
counts.
out. Like you go.
Got some CG in it. Yeah, it's kind of those newer age possession films, but still counts. Kill Baby Kill.
Mario Baba, baby. The king of atmosphere. It's
Yeah, absolutely. That girl, man, is creepy in this movie.
Yeah.
Of course, if you don't know Mario Bava, you should be shot.
King of atmosphere.
But like the spirit of this girl comes back, and she just haunts these people at his house, and of course Mario Bava's style. It's that atmosphere and
Just the lighting alone.
yeah. So like when his girl's face shows up in a window, dude, it
Yeah.
creeps you the hell out. You know,
His movies just jump off the screen at you.
Yeah, definitely. This was from 66.
Yeah.
Kill Baby Kill. Check that
Came
out.
around the same time as like Black Sabbath and
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, movies like that. Okay, Katie Bird. Holy shit! No one ever talks about this
That's a
one.
good movie.
This is from 2005. Basically, you know, she starts out as a kid as a killer. She has a demonic father who's a serial killer. So basically, it's kind of like in training to be a serial killer when you grow up. But it follows her from her childhood killing to basically from her teenage years as a killer to her adult, and she eventually, her whole chronicle of her whole life pretty much fucked up by her father, who turns her into a demonic killer. But I thought it was appropriate, and I don't think anyone ever talks about this movie. It's a really good fucking movie. It's
Never
called
heard
Katie
it.
Bird, Certified Crazy Person. Really, really good film. Really good acting. Really good score. One of my pet peeves in horror films is teeth. Anything to do with teeth. Like I can't watch The Dentist without squirming. But there's a scene where this Asian guy gets like fucking tied down, and she's taking his teeth out. And it's just, it just gets me all the time. It's like, Slayer, Katie Bird, check it out.
Next up, we got Sick Boy. Kind of a zombie child, baby. Actually, pretty good. A lot of CG in it, but still a cool movie.
That one was kind of fun, actually. The aggression scale. Derek Mears, of the guy that did Jason in the remake of Friday the 13th. He's actually a really good actor. This movie's pretty sweet. Basically, this kid, after everyone's dead, him and his sister take charge of the situation. And what they don't know is that he is really a vengeful, rage-filled young man who pretty much goes to town on these criminals, and it's kind of a vigilante type movie, you know, where he takes the law into his own hands and just brutalizes these criminals that fucked his life and his family up. Really good movie, Christian Scale. No one ever talks about this one. I think it deserves more love.
Got one called Tamara.
She's hot.
She's a very hot movie. All right. Basically, her classmates kind of play a prank on her that kind of goes wrong. It results in her death. And she kind of comes back, and one by one, she takes them out. Pretty simple premise of a movie. But yes, very, very, very hot.
A couple CGI moments in there, but yeah, it's...
Of course,
yeah,
it's kind of a teeny bopper film.
Yeah, it's okay.
But Lionsgate puts it out from 2005.
She's hot.
And Lionsgate puts out some actually pretty terrifying movies, so it's not so bad.
And she's really hot, so there you go. Scream Bloody Murder. No one ever talks about this movie except Philip H. Cinema. That's how I heard about it. And this movie also stars Angus Scrimm with hair.
Yes.
Remember that? When we did our Angus Scrimm tribute?
He was there.
I want to know what's going on here. This is the movie.
Up the stairs there.
Scream Bloody Murder, man. This kid has a fucking hook for a hand from an injury in his childhood when he was younger. And basically sent out to asylum for killing, I believe, his father.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back and just, you know, his mother's with another man, which he doesn't approve of course, so he goes on to the murder spree and shit, and then hooks up with this other chick that really takes a liking to him, and he's attracted to her. And basically all hell breaks loose when she takes him in.
Mm-hmm.
Scream Bloody Murder, also known as Gorography, which is a really cool title as well. Check it out.
Next we got Thriller, A Cruel Picture. I haven't seen it, so...
Christina Lindbergh.
I know she's a deaf mute,
Yep.
or something like that, and she kind of gets picked up by this guy. From what I remember, I watched
Hooks
the
her up on heroin.
Yeah, I watched the trailer of this, but I've never actually seen the movie. So.
Oh man, that movie's just... that movie ends in a really bad way with the horse. That's all I'm saying, man. But you know, she
1974, another good year.
obviously Quentin
For-
Tarantino was inspired for the Kill Bill movies by that film, just the cover.
The
alone.
Grindhouse films
Yeah.
with Color One Eye or
Definitely.
anything
Yep,
like that.
they call her One Eye. That's actually what that
Yep.
movie is referred to as well. That's the same movie.
Yep.
Christina Lindbergh is very hot in that film as well.
So,
But yeah,
move on. What do we got?
from Australia. This has kind of been known as a Carrie ripoff, but with a man. It's called Patrick. There's a lot going on in this one. It's not a Carrie ripoff. Don't believe the fucking hype, but it's pretty good. Pretty memorable. Really good scenes. Telepathically, you know, this guy can pretty much control everything around him and cause chaos without even leaving his bed, which is pretty amazing. He's in this bed for all time, but yet he's still causing chaos, Carrie style. Makes people kill themselves, starts shit on fire, shit like that. Patrick from Australia. Awesome.
We got Excision.
Oh,
very, very great film.
That one kicks ass.
Of course, this has got so many people in Malcolm McDowell, Tracy Lords, like, it's got everybody in this movie. Basically, this girl who, she's an unattractive high school student.
Yep.
And she kind of gets into this,
She's obsessed with like surgery,
yeah, like, she gets these fantasies about
anatomy and shit.
anatomy and surgery and all this stuff.
Yep.
And she kind of brings it to the real world. So,
Trying to do operations on her sister that's sick.
yeah, it's
Her mother kind of finds out and shit kind of
not happy. But this is one of those films that I remember when it came out, everybody was really psyched about
Tracy
this movie.
Lords. Yep.
So definitely check out Excision. Definitely just a really cool like
Yeah,
flip
man.
cover. I remember.
That one's really
So-
cool. That one's really, really highly recommended
Oh,
here at the
hell yeah.
Cinema World. I remember the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time I saw that, that was fucking awesome.
Yep.
Alright guys, we're gonna kill something. It's that time again. We shall return.
We'll finish this up, guys. Cheers.
going on, man? Wasn't that badass? We have just the greatest kills ever, don't we?
We're original.
YouTube just loves us. Let's keep this shit rolling, eh? We got seconds apart. You know, there are parts in this film I liked and there are parts I disliked. I thought the acting was pretty damn good. It was pretty believable and stuff, but the whole story is a bit far-fetched. You know, these twins with the power to, you know, mind control and shit, you know, they can make people kill
Like brain
and
scan
stuff. Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But I don't know if it was executed the greatest way. But man, give Seconds Apart a chance. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. It wasn't like Nightmare on Elm Street remake, Red, but
No.
check that. Check that.
Not that bad, no. I'm gonna go through Bereavement. Little boy gets abducted by a serial killer.
The prequel to Malevolence, I just want to say.
Yes, and the serial killer is into like teenage girl, like murdering teenage girls, but you know he abducts this little boy to kind of be his protege, and this kid kind of grows up in this false sense of what's right, what's wrong.
How to be a serial killer.
Yeah, so definitely check that one out, Bereavement.
I really love that movie a lot.
It's a
That
good
was a
movie.
really good one.
Very good movie.
Oh, me and Ghoul love this one. From
I don't remember where that's from. It's not American, I know that.
2015.
It's not even American.
No.
It's subtitled, so it's kind of one of those movies you watch when you're not heavily drunk at like midnight.
But you still get the effect, man. Good Night, Mommy. This movie kicked ass, man. I really enjoyed this
Yes.
one. That whole, basically, their mom was their mom go. These two twins that must be unstable to begin with.
Young kids, yeah.
Just adored their mother, and their mother suffers like an accident or some shit, and she has to have surgery, you know, facial
Yep.
surgery or whatever.
Yep.
And then they're convinced that the woman that's at their house recuperating is not their mother. So
Yep.
basically, they're trying every nick and cranny trick in the fucking book to make sure that that's their mother. Basically,
But they still in the end don't believe that it's her.
yeah, and it just
Yeah.
you know, if I would give the climax away, you know, it wouldn't even be worth watching because it's just something that
It's a
creeps
slow
up
burn
on you.
movie. It's a slow
It's a,
burn
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah. It's a very
Absolutely.
slow burn movie, but you care about the characters. You're involved in the story, but when it fucking happens, man, at the end, it just kind of throws you for a complete fucking loop. And really, man, this movie is awesome. Check it
Yeah.
out. Good Night, Mommy.
Oh yeah.
Pretty recent movie.
From Hammer Films, which
Yes.
the revamped Hammer. This is not the 50, 60.
I'm glad they did it though.
Wakewood.
Fucking great movie.
Daughter dies. 9-year-old daughter dies. So this family moves to this town, and on this town, of course, like any other film, there's this curse that's kind of laced upon this town that this daughter comes back for 3 days and she's a killing machine, more or less.
Yep.
It's kind of a cool thing, but they want to kind of say goodbye to her, so there's this kind of line of...
They're willing to do anything
Yeah.
to bring her back, including reincarnation in a different body, which is a bad idea.
Right, so there's this kind of like love for a child or a loved one, but at the same time, like, it's kind of like a zombie film. Like, you know, you're going out killing all these zombies, and all of a sudden you see somebody like your ex-wife or
You recognize.
your mother or daughter or something like that. How could you shoot them, even though they're dead and you know it?
You can't
How
do
could
it.
you do it? Right. So
Yeah.
this is a mental kind of like a take on a zombie film, even the
Yeah.
idea of how could you deal with somebody who you love and cherish, you never got to say goodbye to.
She was
How do you do
viciously mauled by a dog, and
Right.
you know they try to bring her back, and she's not quite what it seems. It seems like it's okay at first.
like Pet
but then
Sematary.
She, yeah, pretty much kind of like Gage in a way,
Yeah.
except the female version of Gage, I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gage, I know it's not playing. Gage, is that you playing games?
Come on now.
Another Stephen King Killer Kid. Jesus H Christ, Stephen King has something for killer kids. I
You got a
guess.
thing for kids? No, not in that way. I don't mean it
Rephrase
that
that
way.
last comment.
I don't mean it that way.
We love you, Steve.
Killer Kids. Yes.
Killer Kids. Pet Cemetery, man. Another great novel. You should check out if you haven't already. But man, everyone under the sun has probably seen this movie or should at least. I mean, Fred
Yeah.
Gwynn, just Is Judd like he just
Not Chud.
not Chud, no. Is Judd he's just the greatest next door neighbor who
Old man who's looking out for people who move there. You know,
want
it's
to bear bush, he's just the nicest
Yep.
guy.
Found your
Warns him
cat.
about don't take him down those roads, that's how iconic lines.
We could quote this for days because
No, we're not gonna college.
We could.
No, we're not.
But this movie really is terrifying.
It is Pasco, the fucking the
The
ghost
jogger
comes
who
back,
dies,
is creepy
or the
as
guy
hell.
at the college that gets like hit by a car, and
Yeah.
like you see that the
Pasco.
incarnation of like when Doc is working at Doc,
Yeah.
But he's basically just he's trying to tell him that what he's doing is not right. He's kind of leading him down the good path.
right. And of course,
But Lewis doesn't care. Lewis wants his son back.
yeah, he'll do
And,
anything. He'll do anything.
I mean, that is it's
And
such
then when
a,
he comes back, he's not as he was before.
and even like Church, he does it for Church, and Church is even an asshole when Church comes back. But let me tell you right now, this remake that's coming out can shove it heavily up its ass. Because I saw the trailer on this, and Church looks nothing like Church to begin with.
Oh,
This movie's all CG. I mean, this was made in 1988, for fuck's sake.
1989.
1989.
Only 1
And
year.
they had better graphics and special effects, and they didn't need computers. So why, in a day and age where I understand the convenience of it, but why do you need to remake a movie that doesn't need to be remade?
absolutely.
All right.
Nicely said,
I'm
Gould.
done.
He doesn't rap much, but when
I'm
he
done.
does, he's right on.
Pisses me off because I love this movie and they don't need to do it.
Anyway, check out Gage and Pet Cemetery. Cool.
The Orphanage.
I think the alcohol's kicking in.
No, that just really pisses me off.
No,
That's
remakes
over,
suck.
man.
We had another remake. We could have another remake.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I'm sick and tired of them remaking movies.
Fuckers.
This is Guillermo del Toro, who also did Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, things like that. Not really horror films,
Kronos.
but
Not
yeah,
a Venom.
Kronos.
Mimic.
Basically, this girl goes. It's kind of a ghost story, more or less.
Demonic kids coming back from the grave.
Yeah, more or less. I'm not gonna say too
But
much about
but
it.
it's done better than most. 'Cause
Yes.
Guillermo del Toro has a eye for horror and
Yes, he does.
a script for horror, man. Like the guy's a really good storyteller. Like The Devil's Backbone. We could probably even throw in The Devil's Backbone because technically there are elements
Killer
of
Kid,
that
yeah.
which has killer kids in it as
Yep.
well.
That is very true.
But Guillermo del Toro, excellent director.
Oh yeah.
I have another Mondo Macabro when we had Carta before, but this is another killer, more or less demonic kids. Don't Deliver Us from Evil, a great title by the way, from 1971. Man, this movie, yeah, I think it was a video nasty for its time, and I could totally see, a more highly controversial band for blasphemy. Blasphemy. Yeah.
No Bob Ross.
It really
Bob Ross.
was. It really was. Bob Larson, you mean?
Bob Larson.
Happy little demonic kids here.
I'm sorry.
God bless
Okay.
my friends.
Okay.
Anyway, Ghoul's done. But yeah, Don't Deliver Us from Evil from Mondo Macabro. Like, have you ever seen this label right here, Mondo Macabro? Like, we had Alucarda before.
Good stuff.
Really good stuff. They put
They
out
even
like,
got-
Satanic Pandemonium, shit like that. Like, a
They
lot of
got
demonic.
that. They got that. They
stuff.
got like Cannibal Films. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, they got.
It's a really good label. You
yeah.
can't go wrong.
Hell
That's awesome.
no. Some Kind of Hate.
Some kind of hate.
This girl gets bullied, obviously. She kind of goes to this all-girls school. Well,
Not the
trouble
bad.
teens.
Not the
Trouble teens.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of like taking vengeance on these people that kind of did her wrong.
Comes back from the grave again.
Yeah. So
She's got like this box cutter kill. Like
yeah, it's because they're a razor blade.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of one of those
Okay.
old school razor blades, you know, where you flip it
Jack
out.
the
on the
Ripper
handle.
style, like,
Yeah. Or Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, you got, like,
kind of
some
stuff like
bald
that.
people and
So it's got some really cool stuff on it. Some really cool gore. It's kind of a good overall film. Good acting, good gore.
RLJ again, man. They put out some good stuff.
Like I said, RLJ kind of is a hit and miss. This is definitely a good one. So definitely check out Some Kind of Hate.
That was a really good one.
2015. So check that
I
out.
actually really enjoyed that one. Oh my goodness, Stephen Jeffries in 976 Evil. The only movie you'll see where one of my girlfriends is laughing right now, but where it rains fish. Haley, if you're watching, hello. Yep, Rain's Fish.
Oh yeah.
This movie, 80s at its best. I mean, it was also directed by Robert Englund, aka Freddy Krueger.
Yep.
Duh. It really is. It really is good. It's got that teenage angst, kind of in a similar way to like
He's trying to fit in. He's
like
got his-
Fright Night or even
Yeah.
Lost Boys, where you're trying to fit in
Yep, he's got
to a
the-
special group.
he's
But
kind
your
of like-
cousin is a fucking punker from fucking hell that hates
Yeah.
everyone, including you and your mother is like
Mothers.
so. Your mother is so like religious and so protective of you that she doesn't want you to go out in the real world because she's afraid and shit. And he starts rebelling, and eventually he calls this fucking hotline 976 evil number, and he gets these demonic powers that take. Pretty much everyone.
But that scene where they're hanging out in their little zone and he just starts turning into this creature and it's
yeah, man.
like it's
yeah.
Yep, cool special effects in this.
Yeah,
I mean,
976 Evil is a classic. Guys.
Definitely.
80s classic. Check it out.
but the second one has nothing to do with that 976 Evil 2.
Yeah.
That's just that's a total different entity. We're gonna move on to The Strangers. Mind you, holler to one of the creepiest goddamn movies I've ever seen
Yeah.
in recent memory.
Watch it with the sound turned up.
Oh, The Strangers, man.
The part where he's like,
Yeah.
"Cause you were home," you know. It's like,
This
Oh,
takes
fuck.
this takes like House Invasion
Yeah.
to a whole new level of creepy.
absolutely.
The idea that you really don't see him at first, and it's like they're there, and it's like God damn. It's
I just gotta
it's
say
creepy,
that
man.
one scene where she's in the kitchen or whatever, and there's even no music. There's no build up.
Nope.
And you just see his face, like right in the
There,
corner, and
yep.
all of a sudden, like the camera kind of like does this thing where it pans,
Yep.
and you can kind of just see him, and all of a sudden, like he's there, and she can't see him, and then she goes in the same fucking scene, and he's gone.
Yep.
I was like, dude,
This movie, I mean,
That
for
is
2007,
terrifying.
this movie really is the epitome of like
yeah.
a home invasion terror and just that
Lev
unknown.
Tyler.
And that unknown. The second one came out. I haven't seen it yet. But,
No, I haven't seen the second one either. I heard good things. I've never seen it.
So I'll definitely be checking it out. But check it out. 2007, The Strangers.
Hell yeah, that's a good one.
Definitely.
And
worth
cool,
it.
and a cool shirt.
There you go.
Oh my goodness, 1981, The Pit. Now, if anyone remembers our old doll episode, I think it was, we talked a little bit about this.
Yep.
Even though it's technically like a killer teddy bear, it's not a doll, but whatever. Fuck
Close enough.
Whatever. It's a fucking toy, whatever.
It's a toy.
Yeah. You know, this little kid is so messed up, man. Like, he's obsessed with pornography and shit, and he's got something for this hot chick who wouldn't. When you see her, you'd be like, yeah, I can understand why.
I get the.
And his new babysitter, that's it. He has a session with the babysitter, and of course she has a boyfriend, and she has friends that. And then this kid has like this talking teddy bear that tells him to do everything.
Yeah, it's like a demonic teddy bear.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then there's like this pit of like,
Little creatures or something.
you know, pit of something that just.
I don't know
like
what the hell
tears-
they are. They're kind of like
They're like
critters.
ghouls. I mean, they look like him, except
they're ghoulies.
without the beard. You know.
Yeah, they're like little ghouly things that fucking hang out here with these glowing eyes. And
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. The Pit is great, man. Check it out from 1981.
All right, guys, we're gonna get into our top 5 here.
Top 5 coming up next. Stick
We'll be back.
around.
Cheers.
Hold on, guys. Hope you're having fun thus far. A lot of Killer Kitty movies for you guys.
Down to the top 5
This
of
is
our
home stretch.
favorite.
Top 5s.
Of our favorite each.
In order, and this was not an easy task for me and Gould.
So, Killer Kids, here we go. Top 5.
I guess I'll start this off.
Top 5.
Jack Hill's fucking immortal Spider Baby. A very classic film. One of Rob Zombie's favorite films, and you can totally tell when you watch like House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff, how the whole killer family mentality within, especially House of a Thousand Corpses, he was really adamant on this film, Spider Baby. I believe this is definitely one of Lon Chaney Jr.'s last films. It wasn't his last film, but it definitely was one of his last ones. Maybe it was his last one. I don't know. Whatever. Do the homework.
But
One of his last films, and it definitely has Killer Kids in it, Demonic Family. I think Tobe Hooper took a lot from this for Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well, and you can totally see it. Filmed in black and white. Really good atmosphere, honestly, like the shadows of the house.
The infamous A word.
You feel that's the first time, isn't it?
No, we use that.
We're
quite a
in
few
good for
times,
this year
yeah.
yet. All right, cool. Atmosphere, fuck off. But yeah, man, this movie is really cool. Jack Hill directed this one. It's really cool if you watch the special features too, because they give you the scenery, little location shots and stuff, you know, and you can see the house. Sid Haig is in this film.
Very early.
Very, very, very early Sid Haig. Yeah.
Very young, yeah.
Yeah, he was very young in this one. Yeah, music by Ronald Stein, who did Dementia 13 and various other great horror scores. Definitely, this was a really good score as well by Ronald Stein. Jack Hill's Spider Baby, one of my favorites.
Right on.
What you got?
My number 5 would be from 2017
Early one. Wow.
or 2016. Another black and white movie, The Eyes of My Mother. This movie, man, was
that was a trip.
This was so cool.
That was a trip.
Basically, in this old like farmhouse. So the location is cool. This woman who's basically blind. She's a former surgeon. She kind of teaches her daughter the art of anatomy. And it's a brilliant movie in the sense that the mother-daughter connection, that real family connection is there. She really cares for her. But there's kind of like this real dark
side.
yeah, this real dark feeling from the daughter.
She's not all there. Shouldn't have all her marbles.
Yeah, so it kind of turns into kind of a slasher, kind of. I mean, it's got some elements of it. But the kind of cool scene is like when this car or whatever is driving up on this road and you see this woman with like this blindfold that's, obviously blood around her eyes. It's that very iconic image, It starts in the beginning and that comes back at the end. Like, what do you call that? It's kind of I don't know, it's like a full circle film. Like, you see the beginning of this woman walking down this highway, and then at the end it shows kind of like how she got there in the first place, Good gore in this film. It's actually a really well made film.
It really was.
For being even black and white, you get that
Beautifully
real
shot, yeah.
you get that real disdain, that dark feeling. So definitely check out Eyes of My Mother from 2016.
That's a really good one.
Really well worth it.
That's one of mine as well, man. I love that movie. What are we up for now? Number 4. Number 4, Four Horsemen. Number 4, Who Can Kill a Child? This movie needs to be seen by more people. Not a lot of people
If you
know
haven't
it.
seen it, check it out.
Yeah, not a lot of people talk about
Definitely.
it. Dark Sky Films, they always put out really good stuff. God, I'm going to try to pronounce this director's name because he deserves it for making such a good product. Here I go. Narcisco Ibanez, good guitar. Cirador? Yeah, whatever.
Go for it.
Anyway, I tried. This is a really good movie, really good atmosphere on this island. Like, yeah, Stephen King was really inspired by this film to make Children of the Corn. It really, you can totally see it. These killer kids taking over the adults. But of course, it's on an island, not in a cornfield. That's pretty
Right.
much the difference. But there's this really cool scene, and we did a movie earlier called The Demon Witch Child, aka Possessed. And the little girl that turns into the old hag possessed is actually in this film as well. It's a Spanish horror film, and or Italian horror film, I believe. I don't know, Italian, Spanish, whatever.
Yeah.
European. There you go. But she beats this old man with a cane, and it's a really iconic scene for this film that most people talk about. But of course, the scene where he guns down all the kids at the end.
That's awesome.
It's kind of not for everybody because I showed
No.
people this movie already,
Definitely
and they're
not.
just kind of like, I don't
They're
really
turned off
use
by
that.
it.
Yeah.
Very well. Easy.
Who Can Kill a Child, though, guys? That's a great movie. Excellent title as well.
Alright, I have one from 2017 called Psycho Killer. Not the Talking Heads song either.
Psycho killer.
This movie's actually, it's really cool. It's got Malcolm McDowell in it from Halloween. And,
He's a pedophile.
He plays some creepy old neighbor, but basically this is a young teenage woman who is trying to kind of find her way in life and kind of what she wants to do. She kind of goes to school. She has friends. She goes to parties and things like that. So she ends up walking, she has this class where the instructor wants the class to write about a fantasy, more or less, like a job that they would love to do, kind of deal. And Michael Madsen plays him as the teacher.
Man of many movies.
And so she wants to be a serial killer. And she progressively kind of falls into, I guess, the family business. Without giving too much away, she finds Ron Jeremy, who's in this movie. She finds out that when she kills, she likes it. And
Becomes an addiction.
yeah, it kind of does. And she, like I said, she goes on this kind of like killing spree, but in a real seductive kind of way, because she's kind of this young teenage girl. And there's a twist to it, which you'll kind of find out why she becomes kind of this obsession with killing. You'll find out, but definitely check out Serial Killer. Really well shot. Good gore in it. It's got, Malcolm McDowell's kill scene is great. And just him as a character is awesome. So, Ron Jeremy's in this one, like I said. Michael Madsen. So definitely check out Psycho Killer from 2017.
That's a good one. I enjoyed that one.
Number 3!
Yep.
3!
Number 2005. Them. Not to be mistaken for the giant killer ant movie from the 50s. Them is a really cool movie about these fucking school kids that are terrorizing their teacher and her lover in this house. And it's it really inspired the American version of The Strangers, which Ghoul showed before. But this is the French version. And it's definitely right up there with Inside. It's more of a home invasion movie than a killer kid movie, but I thought it was appropriate because it kind of has elements of both. And these kids are pretty relentless in their pursuit of this teacher and her lover. And like I said, it's kind of Hollywood took it and did their own thing and called it The Strangers, but this is the original one, and not a lot of people talk about it. It's called Them. That's a really good one, guys. Check it out. Them.
Oh, yeah.
What you got?
Moving on to 1982, Amityville 2, The Possession.
Man.
Again, this kind of deals with a possession film of sorts. Takes place at 112 Ocean Avenue in New York.
Amityville, Rhode Island. Absolutely.
Rhode Island, but basically New York. It's so this kind of this is the same house that it's in Amityville 1, but I think this is, if you want to talk about sequels, I think this beats the first Amityville.
And that's
as far
the true
as
story.
creepiness.
That's the true story, too.
Basically, this kind of story is about a family that moves into this house that doesn't really understand the history of the house.
Montellis.
And so they think they're like the perfect family, and the son ends up kind of falling under this dark possession because in the original, if you remember, under the basement, there was that door, that hole in the, underneath, in the wall or whatever that kind of went under the house.
Harry, knock it off! Sorry.
So this kind of builds on that story where there's this hole in the wall, like a door, and it gets opened up, and this evil is unleashed into the house and takes over the youngest son.
Oh, yeah.
And progressively,
Sonny, yep.
he becomes more demonic and sinister. And the really uncomfortable scene, I think, in this movie was when him and his sister fucking gorgeous. If you want to, I'm not saying it in a sick way, but he ends up like walking into her room and she's wearing her nightgown and stuff, and
Take off your nightgown.
yeah, he ends up like almost, and it's really an uncomfortable scene because
really is.
because you realize they're family, and he tells her to take off her nightgown, and he's like, you know, not him, but
Put your
it's
hair
a
up.
family thing. It's one of those scenes that is an uncomfortable thing. So,
Yeah, it is.
but then it kind of progressively, he just gets more and more possessive until like that big climax at the end. Not going to give it away, but definitely check
Oh,
out
man.
Amityville 2. Dude, this is really one of the coolest
You want to go with a
Amityville
bang,
series.
man. That one.
Love this movie, man.
And of course, you got the asshole fucking Mr. Montelli.
Oh,
Look, Mister, you don't interfere in my business. You see, I raise my kids the way I see fit. You do what you gotta do, then go.
Sounds like a wrestling promo.
That guy is my hero. No, he's an asshole. Oh man, number 2. We have Eden Lake. This movie is really, really brutal. This is from that Dimension Extreme, which put out Inside and a couple other films.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I showed you this one recently, man. This
a
one
good
is
one.
really brutal. You want to watch
Oh,
killer
hell yeah.
kids, like teenagers, basically. Like there's this guy and his wife that want to just go to this retreat on the lakeside or wherever. You know, they just want to mind.
It's really
their own
nice.
business. Want us to clean
is
the
very
spot
nice,
to
yeah.
make out and shit. Now some of these little bratty fucking kids listen to their fucking jigaboo shit fucking music
Yep.
on the
Causing
beach.
trouble with
Causing
the dog.
trouble with
They have a dog that's
Yeah.
like causing trouble with the wife, and the husband gets pissed.
Yeah, he takes it the wrong way and he confronts the kids, and of course, all hell just breaks loose because these kids are they're emotionally unstable. I
Yep.
guess they kind of need.
Well, they're kind of like the punks. Like you got there's these young kids that are there, but yeah, there's those older kids that are like their mentors to the younger kids. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to be badass, hang out with us, kind of deal.
Yeah,
know?
if you
We've all
want
been
if
there.
you want to one up me, slit this guy's throat or
Yeah.
something, with a box cutter or something.
Yep.
And it's just really brutal when the kids start going after this couple, and you kind of feel for them because they were just there, just as lovers having
just
a
hanging out. They wanted
romantic
to have
evening,
a
and all of a
romantic
sudden,
weekend. Yeah.
she's covered in shit because of the porta potty or whatever. That scene was brutal.
Oh, when she hides out in that thing,
Yeah. And it all starts when they kill the dog. Like the guy
Yeah,
kills the
like,
dog, and then the guy
if
just
you're-
freaks out.
if you're an animal lover, like.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
Yeah, you hate it, but the thing is, like, the other kids that were hanging out with this kid who owned the dog, after a while, they were kind of like, this is kind of stupid. Like, why are you torturing and hunting these people down because of your dog? It sucks, but why are you doing it?
Yeah,
And they almost, like, he goes to the extent where, even his friends that are hanging out don't want to
Like,
do
dude,
it anymore.
I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah,
anymore.
it gets really weird.
And then he turns on them.
But the weird thing is, like, when she kills that young kid who kills
Yeah.
her husband,
Yeah.
or not kills him, but basically like stabs him
She
and
was
shit.
just conflicted, man. She had
Yeah.
to survive,
Yep. She didn't really know what he was about. It's one of those where it's like there's.
Is it okay to
Yeah.
kill kids to survive, or
yeah.
do you yourself want to become
It's
a
a
victim?
very dark
Yeah.
film.
It's a good movie about survival, really,
yeah.
too. Eden
So,
Lake, guys.
check that shit
Check
out,
that one
man.
out, man.
That's a good
Cool
one.
loved it.
That's a good one.
Hell yeah, man.
All right. Now I usually put this.
Oh,
as my
drum
number-
roll!
I
Oh,
know,
shit.
this
I
ain't my
wonder what
number
movie
one.
this is gonna be.
This ain't my number one, but this is
Oh,
very
it is?
close. No, it's not. Only because we put these films, like our criteria was that
Killer kids.
as long as they had one kill in this, now this being my favorite movie of all time, I can't help it, Pieces. And the only reason is that opening scene with the puzzle and the kid.
You're gonna end up just like your father.
Yep. And realistically, he ends up as the killer in the end. I mean, it's kind of like a segue to the actual film. It's a flashback.
Child abuse.
But this scene, when the first time I saw it, just it hit me it hit me as an impact of like, oh man, it's so brutal. Because his mom comes in and he's doing this puzzle, this naked woman,
Yeah.
and you know, he ends up hacking her up with an axe, and she's like pissing and moaning about it. So this makes my only because it's one of my top movies, but also there is killer kids in it, and this was one of the more brutal killer kids scenes that I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
You know, and then how he plays it off as in like the cops show up, you know,
he's hiding in the closet,
and he's acting like there's some guy who broke in and killed his mother, even
That's
though
brilliant,
they found a severed head in the closet. I mean, this makes my top 5 because it's my favorite movie, but also that scene is so brutal and so well created to actually create the film itself. It's got a lot going for it more than just a kill scene. So definitely Pieces 1982. Check that out. Opening scene, can't miss it.
Absolutely. That's essential.
Oh yeah.
Number 1. Oh boy.
Skids is number 1.
Skids is number 1. Gotta take the Walmart cover off so you don't see it. All I got this at Walmart is beyond me. That's funny. Battle Royale, man. Oh god, this
not that new one they put out, but this is the original Japanese.
This is
version
from
of that.
2000, man.
Yeah.
This is Kinchai Funkskyayu.
Funkashukutu?
Yeah, whatever. This movie is great. Amazing atmosphere with the island. You know, the kids on the island. Basically, what this movie is about is there's such a huge eruption of crime with the youth of Japan. And basically, the adults form this battle royale act where basically, you know, they take these kids to this secluded island, all these misfit kids, all these trouble kids or whatever, you know, and they fucking put them on this island, give them a bunch of fucking weapons to off each other. And the last one to survive is the winner, man. It's like winner take all story, basically, but with kids. And these kids are brutal, man. Like
when they learn about what they need to do to survive.
They kill their friends.
It gets progressively worse.
They kill their classmates, like
friends. I mean,
man, slitting throats, fucking shooting in heads. There's this one guy that's got this, I don't know, one of those school killer guns or whatever. He just takes all these
AR-15 or
whatever school killer guns they call them, whatever. But like he shoots all these kids and gets them like 6 in 1, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like this guy who was their teacher prior who goes on the announcements and saying who their friends were that died.
Yep.
And it's just really messed up, man.
It's like a morbid idea.
And the next like scene of the next roll call, whatever, is going to be in this area of the island. And if you're in that island, you're pretty much fucked, you know. Yeah. And he has his feelings for the end girl who's a classmate of his. And it's just a really brutal, well-crafted film, man. And if you've never seen Battle Royale...
I mean, you really want to talk about killer kids? That's really all it is.
Our Descent into Royale, our first Halloween episode again, and go back in the archives and look, this one definitely made my top list, man.
Yep.
This is one of my favorite movies of all time, but it is definitely a great killer kid film.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Now here we go with my number 1. And this is kind of, we're going to not talk about this forever.
I wonder what movie this is.
Found. 2012, 14.
Oh no. Oh no, Ghoul.
This movie is, I mean, this movie's got it. It's got it all.
I'm gonna let Ghoul take this.
This this is a sprout for another film for one.
Yep.
And Headless.
Absolutely.
This is a family film. I mean, I'm not talking like let's sit around.
He says that very loosely, by the way.
Yeah. This movie's more or less about a younger kid who has an older brother who's got this
Marty. Yep.
obsession, not obsession, but he's got, you know, Steve. He grows up to be, or he is into like decapitating people and putting in the, you know, heads in a bowling bag and stuff. While the younger brother, Steve, finds out that
he's also a racist.
Yeah, and he, you know, Steve ends up breaking, you know, kind of snooping around.
No, it's Marty.
Marty,
yeah,
sorry. He starts snooping around into his room and finds a bowling bag with the head, and he kind of is curious about it, you know. And then Steve ends up finding out that Marty knows about the secret.
Big no.
And he's kind of pissed at first, but
That's his brother.
But then at first he kind of takes him under his wing.
It's his brother. What are you gonna do? Kill him? You can't kill your own
So if you ever want to see a real gore fest
Oh,
called Found, check it out. And Marty actually goes to a video store and he's hanging out with his friends and he actually gets Headless
yes.
as a movie, and he's watching it with his friends, and
Unrated horror film versus unrated horror film they ever saw.
so it's like,
We've all been there.
and like I said, there was a small scene in it where it's actually not even in the actual movie, but you still see like the headless character,
Oh yeah.
and that kind of sprouted that. But if you watch Found, man, this is like Killer Kids at I mean, the acting is done well, the cinematography, the score, the gore, everything. Check out Found.
If you've been following us this long, you know that Skid Gore, one of my favorite all-time
Oh yeah,
modern
absolutely.
horror films. Modern horror
That is
films
it.
is Found. Hands
is it.
down, it is. I love the interaction between the two brothers.
It's a family thing,
I love the
man.
fact that this little kid is a horror fan.
Yep.
He goes to the video store. Kind of brings back that whole nostalgia value of like fucking going to the video store and seeing like fucking.
Getting that VHS of something.
Yeah,
that like,
yeah.
He just picked it
It's
up
like,
because
can I
it looked
rent this?
brutal.
You know,
Yeah.
it was. It
Yep.
just brings back so many memories, and you know, trying to fit in, being a misfit, being bullied. It's a great movie about being bullied as well. I mean, and Marty finally, from advice from Steve, who is a serial killer's older brother, you gotta take those motherfuckers out. Don't let them
Yep.
fucking call him a
the-
faggot,
but the
knock him
end-
out.
But
You know.
but the ending to this film, which we won't give away,
Oh,
is
man.
the most brutal. So
I wonder if I'll ever be found.
definitely, if you want to see something that, and when you watch this movie and you see the ending,
Yeah.
we're not giving it away, but check out Found. All right, guys.
Found and Battle Royale are the greatest number
There
ones.
you go.
Also,
So
I gotta
guys-
say, Ghoul, I forgot it at home. I gotta say this. Devil Times 5. How the hell?
There we go.
I did not put it
Yes.
in my list. I have no idea, but Devil Times 5 with
Yes.
Leif Garrett fucking rules. I will say that. Sorry.
5 Killer Kids. There you go.
Yes.
All right, guys. We'll come back. We're gonna hit it up with some killer scenes here. So let's come back, guys. Cheers.
Stick around.
Nicht, Elias, tu das nicht. Elias, tu das nicht. Elias, hörst du mir zu? Elias! 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 Elias!
Alright, guys, that's our first show of 2019. We are done and hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a long
Well,
stretch.
hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
And
We're
you know
glad to
what?
be doing this, dude.
And, you know,
It'll be
like I
great.
said, we post our videos. I mean, we got our website. We're going to post it here.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely go check out our webpage that we got. It's got everything from
Everything, man.
Everything from every episode we have is all in one place.
Sick of looking at us after that
And
website.
I've tried to, like, you know, post it on Facebook and stuff like that. But I'll post the link down here so you guys can check it out.
Check it out. That's awesome, man.
I want to talk about, like, our Planets Collide episodes. You know, it's all about metal. And, you know, if you guys have seen it, I'm sure you guys have appreciated it. We also got our half-ass reviews from hell, which we're going to keep doing.
We'll bring those back.
And, I mean, we got so much stuff going on in 2019.
It's 2019, man. And we're gonna try to
New
get on a regular schedule. So,
Yeah.
like at the end of at the last Saturday of every month, we're probably gonna be doing one of these.
Yeah.
In case one of us dies, or, you know,
New
unless one of us
episode.
dies or something, you know.
Shut up.
And we'll probably still be doing one.
So we want you guys to stay tuned, definitely, to Send to Horror Hell. You know, we don't have this episode or this show without you guys, so we need you guys to help us out by sharing this video and just,
Yeah, man.
you know,
Go for it.
helping
Keep-
us out, man. I mean, you know, we can only do so much.
And I'll say the same thing I said in the first episode. You know, whenever the hell that was. You know, whether it's
3 years ago.
500, whether it's 50, whether it's 5 people watching us, man. We're doing this for ourselves.
We appreciate
But we
every one of
appreciate
you,
everyone
man.
that fucking watches us, that shares us, that really believes in what we're doing, spreading the word of fucking horror and fucking metal and whatnot.
So what, the show's an hour long. So what? Break it up in 3 parts. Who gives a shit? Either way, guys,
Right,
we
go
want
on.
to thank you guys for tuning in to Descent into Horror Hell and Killer Kids
He
episode.
is. Yes, he is.
Cool.
I'm Skid Gore. We'll see you next time. Let it rip. Hail whore. Go forever on Descent into Horror Hell. Keep it real.
Something evil is happening, and it's happening inside the children.
No!
Something beyond your worst fears.
Go! Go! To the house! Get out of here!
The children will carry you one step beyond horror to sheer terror. Pray you'll never meet them. The Children from World Not All, rated R.